My goodness, has it been a long time since I've done this, but here we are. We've got the ironing board out. You know what that means? It's Christmas time again. Well, not necessarily. It means that I'm going to do one of these talking into the camera things instead of you having to see my ugly face here. Man, it's even been a while since I've made a video. And you know what? I'll be completely honest with you. One of the reasons it's been so long is this right here. And I'm not talking about the idiot behind the camera. I'm talking about the camera. I recently upgraded my phone. Well, a few months back, I upgraded my phone to the Samsung Galaxy S5. I actually did it on the day that the iPhone 6 was announced. And I haven't had a way to really hook it up to the tripod. But that's been taken care of with this new square jellyfish handy-dandy tripod accessory hookup thing. And now, I know I'm a little bit late, but I like to make one of these every year. It's the Christmas gifts video. I know we've gotten some new subscribers from last year. In fact, we've been getting quite a few lately. Excuse me, I can't speak. I'm so excited. If you're unfamiliar with this, basically what it is every year I like to showcase the fantastic gifts I've been given to myself and from family, friends, Santa, loved ones, and all that. And it's mostly for my own personal record so I can look back and have a bit of a memoir, but I also like to show it to you guys because, let's face it, here of us in the tactical gun community and all that fun stuff, you know, you might see something and say, damn, I didn't know something like that existed. That's pretty cool. I've done that countless times watching these sort of unboxing or Christmas gift videos in the tactical community here. And I think there may be one or two of those gifts this year that you might say, damn, that's a nifty thing. Ain't that the bee's knees? So, without further ado, like I said, from all sorts of people, things that were gifts to myself, from the family, from friends, from YouTube, from all that sort of thing, kind of went all out this year. The reason it was a little bit late this year was because I was waiting for something to come in, but it came in, and now I can finally watch the video. So let's get started with a classic, the Zippo of the year. What Zippo did we get this year? Now, this was one I wasn't sure if I had or not. I know, it's getting to that point. And the reason it's getting to that point is because I have a display case, but I filled it up. So now it's overflowing, and I kind of have a stack of Zippos that need to get their own display case. I gotta get back to Bradford, Pennsylvania to the factory and pick up another display case. Anyway, here it is. Again, probably illegal in New York. The right of the people to bear arms shall not be infringed. Where's to keep? Naughty Zippo. Anyway, this is a nice silk-screened one on a brush chrome Zippo. Of course, we got the sad onion in there, the Christmas sad onion there on the sticker. But it's a standard brush chrome Zippo, and it has a bit of the Second Amendment on there, which is nice. Probably extraordinarily illegal in here in New York. And the name of it, for those of you interested, is Zippo Colors Don't Run. I certainly hope colors don't run. You don't want that, especially if they're in the washing machine. But tish. So that's the Zippo of the year. I enjoy it. Like I said, didn't know if I had it. I, in fact, did not. I got a similar one last year, but it wasn't the same. It basically said something along the lines of right to keep and bear arms, something. It had a black bird on it. But it wasn't the same, so that's good. Don't like getting the same Zippos over because I don't have any use for two of them. Anyway, continuing on now. What are we going to move to next? Ah, yes. Why don't we move to the thing that kept this video so long? Alright, let's see here. Holy shit! Oh! It's a boy! Actually, it's not a boy. It's not a girl either. It is a Faber high-pressure 100 cubic foot steel scuba cylinder. It's even got the visual inspection sticker on there. Yeah, this took a little while to come in. For those of you unfamiliar with the diving community, scuba diving community, your standard cylinder that you see at all the dive, when you see in resorts, and the most ubiquitous cylinder out there to get people started is the aluminum 80. It's aluminum, holds 80 cubic feet of air, aluminum 80. This, I've had an aluminum 80 for a while. This is a little bit more for some of the deeper dives, steel 100. Because it's steel, I'll be able to take some of the weight off the weight pouches in my BC, and because it's 100, hey, you get more air. Who can complain? Ugh. Up next on the agenda of scuba-related items, so we can get that out of the way so people could say, scuba diving's boring, let's go, let's get on with the interesting things. I know, I can hear you already. The next on the agenda is, of course, another big item that's too big to get in the damn screen. Anyway, I'll just show you this portion of it. It is another backpack suitcase type thing. This is actually the second one I have, this one being red. You can tell that by the way it's red. It's the second one of these bags that I have. And what it is basically a dive bag. And I'm glad that Santa brought me a second one, because that means currently in here is my BC. Before, I would have to have my BC and my wetsuit and my weights having to be carried on separately. And if you've ever been on a dive boat, you know you kind of want to consolidate room. So now that I got two of these, it's basically just these two bags, put stuff in, and bam, you're good. Just that and the tanks and you're all set. So, nice little bag here. It's called the, what is it called? Destinations luggage bag. And having used one for a year, it's definitely a good scuba bag. It's got all these nice little compartments here. I can actually move it down a bit. It's got all sorts of nice compartments, the tie downs here. Lots of many zippered compartments, which is always good when you have all sorts of scuba crap to carry on. Anybody who's done any sort of diving knows that you're going to collect gear over the years. So the more storage, the merrier. Alright, what should we continue on to next? I'm going to move on to the last thing. It's too big to get in the camera because it's too big to get in the camera. Why waste our time? This one, real simple. Most of you probably already have these. This is going to be the representation of it. I got a tool chest. This is for the reloading room, because I've gathered so much reloading crap in the years that I've been reloading that I didn't have anywhere to put it, and it's overflowing, and it's getting on the bench, and it's making a pain in the ass to clean the guns. Pain to reload. It's just becoming a big mess. So I finally went out and got a heavy-duty 3 chest. It looks something like this. Craftsman tool chest. It holds the reloading manuals, dies, tools, gun cleaning stuff, this, that, and the other thing. Really makes it nice and clean down in the reloading room. Finally broke down and bought one. And speaking of reloading stuff, see what I did there? That's called a segue. I'm not talking about things that Paul Blart Mall cops wear. If you wear in a segue, you would definitely have a problem. Now, for segue into reloading, I got a few reloading things this year. Well, actually, a setup for my already owned Hornady lock and load press, because I'm going to begin reloading 9mm. Now, this is an oft-debated caliber, and I don't mean the regular 9x45 or 9 versus 45 debate. I mean, should I reload 9mm? Is there a cost savings? The answer is probably no. You can get cheap 9mm for probably about what it would be to reload. However, there's two benefits. One, if you're using it for, if you're reloading in something that's going to be like, say, a defensive caliber, don't get into the whole, don't reload your defensive rounds. Trust me, I understand both sides of that argument, but you can reload those for a lot cheaper than the defensive stuff. But my main concern is seeing the big scare that there was on 22 these last couple of years, which still needs to get a little bit better. I wish it would get back on the shelves. Excuse me. What if there's ever a shortage of 9mm? And from what I've seen, there actually already has been. There's been times, like when there's the rush of 22, you'll also see 9mm not too available on the shelves. Whereas you can pretty much get bullets and stuff anytime, because don't forget, we can still order bullets here in New York online. We can't order live ammo because we're not mature enough. We're dangerous. We might shoot up a school and all that stuff. And our great Fuhrer, Mr. What should I call him? Mein Kampf Andrew Cuomo, who got in again. He's about to have his inaugural speech, or he just did. I don't know, because I've always thought he fucking sucked. So if it's a new era of fucking sucking with his inaugural address, good for him. I don't care. Because he wants to keep everybody safe. He banned ordering live ammo back with the SAFE Act. And wait until the background checks start. Oh, that's what they keep threatening. Either way, I want to be able to roll my own. So, of course, the setup you need to change your Hornady lock and load AP press, which I have, over is, of course, the dies, which this is a 3-die set, and in the bullet cedar step, it taper crimps, which is nice. Another thing, side note here, nice about these dies, 100 free bullet rebate. So that would make 600 free bullets that I've gotten from Hornady. 500 for the press and 100 for these dies right here. That's kind of why I chose this set. Anyway, because the set was like $39.99, and about 100 bullets is about $20, so that makes the set $20. Can't complain about that. You also need bushings to quick change, so you can set them up once and then never have to dick around with them again when you switch calibers in your press, and of course the 9mm shell plate. So that's fantastic. That's the reloading side of things. And speaking of reloading, watch this segue. Speaking of reloading, there's one thing you don't want to do in a reloading room, and that is smoke. Why? Because smoke, well, especially cigarettes, the end of the cigarettes, contain fire or extreme heat. And speaking of fire or extreme heat, specifically fire. Of course, the yearly tradition, everybody loves them. I got some nice Yankee candles here. I get them every year. Yankee candles, my favorite. They make them right over there in not Pennsylvania, Vermont. I'm getting my free states confused, ladies and gentlemen. It's like all the states around us are free, so I get them all confused. It's like we're trapped here in the gulag. Anyway, so I got some nice ones, some cinnamon, some holiday flavor. And this one was interesting because it's got a, look at the wick on this candle. It's actually got a flat wick. Apparently crackles like a crackling fire. And in addition to this, I also got a nice topper, so it projects a nice image over the ceiling in whatever room you put in, I guess. In fact, I have a candle going right now. It's a nice tropical beach scent, so I can think I'm at the beach and not in the middle of this fucking communist hellhole. Excuse me. That's not the holiday spirit. Look at me. And speaking of being at the beach, here's a meatball. Yes, the beach meatball, of course. Actually, I don't believe it's a meatball. I think it's a coconut, but it's from my sister in Hawaii. So yeah, I guess they're nuts about Hawaii. My sister's certainly nutty. I don't know if it's a Christmas tree ornament, but it's got a snorkeler on there. I think she got that because the whole I'm a scuba diver thing. And, well, I guess technically I do wear a snorkel, so I get that. I get the old snorkeling meatball. I got that, so that's from my sister. In addition, she got me a name tag that says Aloha Hawaii on there. And my name, apparently, in Hawaiian is Lopaka. Fantastic! Everybody can call me Lopak in the comments. Anyway, speaking of Hawaii, sometimes when you're Hawaii, you might go to the beach, see the waves, tumble across the sand, you know, and maybe you might see a nice beach babe, you know what they say, if you're a little risque. You might see a nice beach honey, and sometimes their bodies, or you might even get asked to help them put a little oil on their bodies, a little suntan oil. And speaking of oil, I reordered some my Ballistol. Now, Ballistol has by far been the best cleaning and preservative product I've used. And it's funny when you go online to see these debates about these different things, how you get all these armchair chemists that are talking to you about the different properties of the most molecular new synthetic M-Pro frog lube compound and whatever. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about your theoretical performance. I care about the actual performance. And Ballistol has been phenomenal for me, considering I used to use Rem oil, which appears to suck rust from every corner of the known universe. Tried Ballistol out, pick a gun out after the safe after it's been in there untouched for a couple of months. Not only not a speck of rust, but the gun still looks wet. It doesn't feel greasy or anything like that. It certainly does very strange things to the metal. And if it's good enough for Hickok 45, somebody that actually shoots their guns and actually puts these products to the test, versus, well, according to chemistry, Ballistol's going to emulsify with any moisture in the air and be a bad rust preventative. Bullshit alert! It's good enough for me. If it's good enough for Hickok 45, it's good enough for me. My last order, which was basically the same thing, it had a few other odds and ends because I got the starter pack, was the non-aerosol 16-ounce and the aerosol 6-ounce. I use the aerosol 6-ounce to spray in boards that I'm going to put a bore snake through, the non-aerosol for pretty much everything else, and it makes guns look damn nice. So I reordered them after 2 years. That's how long they lasted. That's how long this set lasted me, 2 years. And I go out and shoot quite a bit, so hopefully this will last another 2 years, and hopefully I won't be disappointed. Oh, I almost forgot to mention my sister, the meatball giver, also gave me a nice Hawaiian shirt that makes people, when I walk around, say, "Hey, are you Magnum PI?" And to me say, "Do I look like Tom Selleck?" Thank you. I appreciate that. Anyway, speaking of things I really appreciate being able to find 22 ammo for a decent price. And I happen to pick this up this holiday season. Look at that, a 525 golden bullet pack for $31.99. Not a completely disgustingly gouging price. I'm joking about the gouging thing. I don't actually believe gouging exists. It's also lie in demand. But anyway, I want to hear from you guys. Is 22 the bulk packs still this hard to find in your state? Is it still like, yeah, you're never going to find it in a big box store? I mean, here you just can't find it in a big box store. You'd be very lucky. And you have to kind of hit the gun stores when they get a shipment. And even then, you're probably going to be overpaying. Frank's Gun Shop, of course, has always treated me well, and they gave me this for a decent price. That's $5.25 for $31.99 in today's climate. Completely acceptable. Speaking of ammo, my friend Excuse me. And I don't mean my friend in the red with the beard, Mr. SC, you know, the meaning of the season, Santa Claus. No, I mean, my other friend gave me some 223, which... What a tragedy. Apparently he hadn't heard that my AR got lost in that boating accident, but I appreciate the sentiment. Anyway, he also gave me a nice bottle of Jack Daniels, which everybody I'm sure is saying in the comments, "Jeez, it sounds like you've had a bunch of caffeine." I get that comment all the time. It's absolutely hilarious every time I get it. They're saying, maybe you could have a couple shots, calm yourself down. Yeah, maybe I could. Maybe not. I'll be like Ollie Williams when he slows down. Not too bad. Who gets that joke? Family Guy jokes. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of Jack Daniels, of course, you need something to drink it out of, not the bottle. I got a nice flask set here. Of course, you got the big flask, mini flask, 2 nice stainless shot glasses, and a funnel from pouring from the big bottle into one of these flasks. I enjoy the flasks. Not saying I take a flask with me everywhere and start nipping out of it, but it's nice to have a flask sometimes with you. You never know, on a nice cold winter's night, take a little nip of some brandy. You never know, who knows? I appreciate this nice flask set. Very nice leather-wrapped deal there, too. And speaking of drinks, you gotta have some food with some drinks. And I got a here. I don't know if you're familiar with this, people who aren't in, like, the upstate states. I don't know if this is an across-the-country thing. A gift card to 99, so I can continue to make myself fat. On that point, I just gotta think. I've been speaking lately with all the things that have been going on with Ferguson and the Michael Brown case and the Garner case into the NYPD. It's funny when you get out of the arguments because, you know, it's not a secret that I'm Speed Dog 138 here on the old interwebs on YouTube's. And it's funny because people think that's like a big insult to me. They'll post this will be their actual rebuttal when I'll say, hey, you know, maybe they didn't need to murder that guy in New York City for you know, simply not paying the state its tax on the cigarettes. I don't know, maybe, you know, here's some logical explanations. And they'll say, this is you on YouTube, you're a fucking fat ass, you're disgusting. And you know, that's true, but I don't exactly understand what that has to do with the argument. Maybe it's because, I don't know, you don't really have a strong argument there. You get these pigs. Oh, I didn't mean pigs because they're cops. No, I meant because they're all full of shit. You get these people on YouTube that'll think it's a big insult posting my YouTube channel. Look at this guy, he's fat, disgusting. That's fine, but I don't really understand what that has to do with the argument. Maybe it's over my head. Anyway, $25 gift certificate here to the 99 plus a little $5 bonus. It's very good. I love their boneless honey barbecue wings. They're fantastic. And sometimes some of their fresh variety meals that they have for lunch. Really enjoy them. If you don't have a 99 with you near you in your again, I don't know if it's a Northeast thing, but if you don't have 99, it's very good. It's kind of like an Applebee's type of thing. Applebee's and Ruby Tuesday and that sort of thing, that kind of chain, but it's one of my favorites. Anyway, continuing on, speaking of cards, I won't show you any of the pertinent information on this, but it is another year's subscription, membership, whatever you call it, to AAA. We get this every year. The parents buy this for me. It's another year's membership to AAA in case you get in any sort of breakdown or an accident. There's a lot of good There's a lot of good benefits to being in AAA. Most people probably know the benefits. You can get deals on hotels. The gold there, they'll tow you 100 miles to a service station of your choosing if your car breaks down, anything like that. I've used it before. It's really, really helpful, and you'll really notice it when you don't have it. So we're really getting down to the nitty-gritty here. We gotta start getting some tactical stuff in here. I think we got, what, 3 more items here, I believe? Yeah, that count might change, but I don't know. We got to get to the real manly tactical stuff here. So here we go. What we have here is a Thomas the Tank Engine high capacity assault. You can see these shoulder things that go up here. High capacity assault, fully automatic. You can take that right out there, and the money comes out fully automatically with laser sights. Yeah. You see those and you'll think it's a laser. Piggy bank, this is for when the economy collapses. You can keep all your gold and silver in there, and you don't even need to smash it open because it's fully automatic piggy bank. So, really thinking ahead, really I'm glad I got that. It's really a good prepper item. Speaking of prepper items, let's go. Last 2 items here. Let's take a look here. Zip this up. I think I might have to move the camera back for this one, or we'll see here. This is one of my favorites. This might be one of those things that you didn't know existed, and you'll be like, wow, that's pretty cool. Maybe I should consider something like that. Let's take a look. This is the GPS Handgunner Backpack. This thing is the shit, if I may say so myself, which I can because I just did, when it comes to any sort of range bag. Now, there's a lot of features on this bag, so I'm going to try to knock them off real quick. First and most important, patch comes off. You put a nice Walther logo on there if you want. No, I don't know why you'd want to do that. But anyway, this GPS handgunner backpack has pockets all over the side for any sort of handgunning range trip you want. You could probably even take a few rifle things in there, but probably not rifles. Whereas you can put pistols in here. That's one of the main draws of this. First of all, it stands up all by itself, so it's not falling over at the range. And the reason that it stands up, well, at least this helps to the reason, is right here in this front pocket. If you unzip it... What the heck is that? Red tab? Don't know what that is. But if you unzip it and fold it down here, this is awkward to do with the tripod and the camera, out comes, there we are, a cradle that will hold 4 handguns in an upright position, totally padded to protect your handguns, and instead of having to bulk 4 individual padded case, or 4 individual hard-sided cases around, you can put 4 handguns in here side by side, standing straight up, fully protecting in the range, and you don't have to lug so much around. I was worried about the size of this cradle, because some people said if you have a longer gun, or a longer gun with a longer barrel, it won't fit. Well, here's the biggest semi-auto handgun that I own, the Glock 20C, and yes, it is loaded, so we're going to be careful with this. But this will go in here just fine, slide right in, and it'll zip up perfectly. Even that big, full-size 10mm will fit with no problem. So that's the gun cradle. Let's take this back out, because as I say, it is loaded. Put this off to the side here. So you've got that cradle in the front. The zipper back up. Of course, you got the digital camo finish. It also comes in black. I'm not sure which one I prefer. Take it or leave it. Might prefer the black because I don't like the whole I'm the military guy that some of these people portray. I don't like to play soldier or anything like that. I think that's a bunch of crap. But anyway, on the side here, in these pouches, pockets for 6 on each side, so 12 double stack magazines. So that's nice. You've got pockets for binoculars. Up here you have an ammo cup for loose ammo like 22 that velcros out. You can spill some 22 in there and not have to, like if you have one of those, say, bulk packs, not have to keep reaching in there. You can also use it for spent brass, I suppose. There's also a space in there for silicone cloth if you want to put that in there. Open this up. You have a space for eye protection, ear protection on the bottom, and whatever you want to put in here. Other side, the other pockets for those 12 double stack magazines. Well, another 6, so making 12. Pocket for a stapler and duct tape, and a pocket for, I believe I have the stapler in there already. Let's check. Yep, I have my, get that in there, so you believe me, a stapler in there for the range. Some thumbtacks, I have that space reserved for stapler staples. So here's the 6 more double stack pockets. I'm probably going to have a full video on this showing everything being utilized, this GPS handgunner backpack, because it is pretty cool. A pocket for any sort of tools you might need at the range. In the top, we have, this is one of the coolest features. I'm not going to pull it all the way out now because it'll be a pain to put back in, but an entire rain poncho that'll come out that's attached to it and completely cover up the bag if it should decide to start raining on you at the range. Close that back up. And the meat and potatoes here, it says you can use it for ear protection, except I use the earbuds, so what I'm going to use it for, the top main pouch, is you can fit, from what I've heard, about 500 rounds of those 50-round packs of any sort of pistol ammo, 45, 9mm, 40. That'll fit right there in the top. So this is going to be an excellent bag. Oh, on the side we also have a spot to put rolled up targets to take to the range. And it's a full backpack, of course, so you know you can wear it on your back instead of having to lug it with this, which, even though this is a nice handle. But it's really cool. I've wanted one for a few years. Whoa, jump cut. One of Santa's reindeers was just getting off the roof. Anyway, I wanted one of these for a few years, but it's always kind of been, do I really want to spend that on a bag? But I broke down to it. So, you know, it's the holiday season. Whatever. This will make going to the range a lot easier, because otherwise I normally carry one of those standard green military ammo cans. It's a big metal thing to lug around. Kind of heavy, and I carry a different case for each gun. Oh, that gets a pain, because you have to make more than one trip, and our range, you got to go up a hill, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to keep making trips after trips. Just get something like this, and, you know, just bite the bullet once, and you'll be just fine. So, moving on to the final item. Let's get back in position here. Moving on to the final item here. Oh, the phone went in the portrait mode. Anyway, final item. So I'll give you a hint as to what the last thing is. A very subtle hint. This was something I picked up when I was picking up the last item here on the agenda. For a while I'd been using Hornady Critical Defense for my 40 as a defensive ammo. Been reading some things, and I don't want to get into big caliber war. Perhaps it's not the greatest defensive ammo. Trust me, I would trust my life to it just fine, but when I saw this in the store and I looked at the actual bullet, I'm not talking about the cartridge, I'm talking about the projectile, the bullet itself, I'm like, yeah, I could see some damage with that. This is a box of 50 federal law enforcement ammo, tactical, 40 Smith & Wesson, 165 grain HST. This is what some of the local police departments are using, and when I opened it and looked at the round, hopefully that'll focus, it looks nasty. It looks like a nasty round. So I'm like, yeah, I could see how that might be a man stopper round. So I figured, yeah, I'll pick up a box of this. Why not change up the carry ammo a bit? But currently I don't carry a 40. Currently I carry a 9. I carry the Glock 26. But I felt like I was kind of letting my brand down a little bit, even though, you know, I like guns. I just like guns. I don't care if it's a Glock, a Walther, an HK. I like them. I don't have to be one of those people that only likes one brand or only likes one gun, but what's kind of started it all, I think, is where we came back with this. Covering up the information sticker. Gee, I wonder what's in this box. By the way, for those wondering, Santa does not have to go through any sort of background check provisions given the SAFE Act. I checked with Andrew Cuomo, and he said that's all right. And then he asked for his blanket and milk and cookies and went to bed. Anyway, what is this? Let's take a look here. This is, to the slow focusing camera, another Walther P99, except this is the C. Walther P99 Compact AS. We'll do a safety check on this one. And, of course, it's empty. And this is, of course, the 40 version. As I've mentioned in my videos before, the way to tell the difference is the 9mm version has the milled down slide bit here in the front. Now, I would have preferred the 9mm version, but as that currently is like finding hen's teeth, and I wanted to switch out my carry gun, perhaps, maybe add it to the rotation to a P99 because I like the trigger, I like the feel, there's a lot of different things I like about the Walther. Whatever. I'll get the 40 version whenever the 9mm version comes in, I'll be all set. So, there it is, Walther P99, that's the gun this year. Very excited about that. I see they've certainly made some changes with these guns over the previous generations of the P99. I don't know if this is just the compact, but I see they're using the new double recoil spring there, and blue grease, the best kind of grease. But that's just one of the things I noticed. I know they built these guns from the ground up, whereas they might have had some reliability problems with the Gen 140s. I didn't have too many, unless it was an ammo-related issue. But they built the second-gen platform of the P99s with these larger serrations. The first gens, as you've seen in my videos, have the smaller, finer ones, which I actually prefer those, but we won't get into that right now, because I'll have a whole video on this gun, comparing it between the Glock 26 and the first-gen ones. Damn, now I forgot what I was talking about with it, but yeah, it's got the larger serrations here. I was talking about some. I lost my train of thought. Boom, I remembered it. Ignore that jump cut. It was the differences between the first and second generation. I know that the second generation's guns here were made with the 40 platform in mind, whereas the first gen added the 40 to a 9mm platform. So the 40 was right from the start with the second gen here. But it's the P99C. It's a little tiny bit bigger than the Glock 26, but for all the extra features, including the far superior on the trigger guard magazine release, Glock lovers, American gun owners, button stuff, negative. Anyway, let's not get into a big debate here. Of course, it comes with the 2 magazines, and one of them has a finger rest on it. I'm going to try it out. Typically, I don't like finger rests on the magazines, but we'll try it out with this. It does have a nice feel to it. Of course, it comes with the millionth cable lock that I don't use. It comes with extra back strap. And one of my favorite things that Walther does is, in the box, include a factory in Germany shot target. 5 rounds at 45 feet. That's pretty damn good grouping for a pistol with a barrel this size at 45 feet. maybe I'm just a really bad shot or something, but if you can do that standing at 45 feet and get a group like that, I'm happy. So, without further ado, I'd like to wrap this up because it's just about a half-hour video, and I want to know what you guys got for Christmas. Did you get a cool gun? Did you get some range toys, some cleaning stuff? Did you get some video games? I didn't get any video games this year. I guess I'm just too old for that. I bought myself some on the Steam sale. You know, I can't resist. But what did you guys get? Did you have a Merry Christmas? Did you have a bad Christmas? Did you get coal in your stocking? What are you looking forward to? Hopefully I'll be doing a lot more of these videos now that I've actually got something to hold the camera on the tripod now. Thanks again to Square Jellyfish. What did you guys get? And of course, because this will probably be done uploading tomorrow, it'll be New Year's Eve. Drink, eat, be merry, enjoy it, hopefully this is a very productive new year. Hopefully Andrew Cuomo gets anal cancer. Oh, excuse me. See, I can't get in the holiday spirit like that. See, that's being very rude. But what'd you guys get? Did you have a good Christmas? I hope you did. And of course, everybody gets that regular nonsense crap. Oh, family love and all that stuff. Oh, you know, world peace and blah, 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 blah. That's nonsense. We care about material gifts. This is America. Anyway, so what did you get? Did you have a good time? And basically, what have you guys been up to? And hopefully, I'll be making more videos now that I got the tripod adapter. Take it easy, guys. I'm out.